there is your F3 OMNIBUS Pro, and here is your F4. Really, I guess it looks a little bit different, but the biggest difference is the processor. Looks like you're missing a few motor heads at the end. You only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 4, 5, 6. 6 on here, and you have 8 on the F3. But you know, don't necessarily. We don't need 4 on a quadcopter, right? So, all right. I'm hoping we can see that. Let's look. Nope. Oh, let's turn it this way, and then you can see them back to back. There you go. Hopefully that'll help you somewhere. All right. Well, this F3 is going to be retired. So, well, I mean, it's got to be. It don't work. So, all right. So, the F4, I'm really trying to keep it in this spot here because I know that should be on the camera, and just want to reiterate that here is your buzzer header, ground on the end, and positive inside. Here's your 2 main positive leads. This right here is to your battery, directly to the XT60 basically. This one here goes to the PDB, which the PDB powers the ESCs and the camera and the VTX and all that stuff. And then over here we've got our videos. There's 6 pinholes here. There's a positive and negative for the VTX, and a positive and negative for the camera, which I do not use. I power it directly off the PDB because there's been some issues with voltage supply, and it's just safer to run it through the PDB. And you know, the flight controller is already doing enough work. But these are your video pins. Let me bring it up on the computer just to confirm. I'm looking at the back side, so I guess I need to look at the front side. Just to confirm on your videos, the one on the outside of the board goes to the video out, so that would go to your VTX on the outside, and then the inside here, that goes, that's the video in, so that comes from your camera. Oh man, I sure hope all this is catching. There we go. All right, and then this one here, this is going to be for your receiver, for your controller. Just double checking at the diagram, the very inside is your S-Bus pin. Right here. It's only this row. This is your 5-volt pin, and this is your ground pin. All right, and you'll notice on this board I've got them pre-soldered in order to connect. You got to pre-solder the board here. Also, these are your motors. The motor order goes, skip this one because your receiver is going to be in here. Motor order 1, 2, 3, 4 is the motor order on the board. Obviously your motors don't go like that. I don't remember the exact order. I always have to look at Betaflight. But you're going to have your grounds on the outside for your signal wires, and then on the inside here you're going to have your signal wires, because and you don't need to use the 5-volt pins here for the ESCs. and then just turning it over. You've got, the only thing I have to use on the bottom is the ground. There is your ground right here, and that'll be the first thing I'll have to get on the board. So no further ado, let's go ahead and get this nice board put in there. All right, I don't know how. Probably gonna have to break out some helping hands. Just trying to put something down and then moving all over the place. Little helping hands help sometimes. Maybe that's why they're called helping hands, right? All right. So, don't know how this is going to do on the twist. I'm not in the shot there. Here we go. Get a good flow on it all. Hold your wire there just a little bit. It's no telling how many times I've held the wire there, and as soon as I pull the solder gun off of it, I let go of it with the tweezers, and of course I have to redo it. So, alrighty, so basically that's it on the bottom of the board. So now let's hopefully everything turns over. Yep, there we go. Of course, you know, everything's not going to work perfectly here. All right, so I don't know, do I want to do the signal wires first, or do I want to do the probably going to be best to do the power wires last, because they're going to really kind of stiffen it up. That is the only bad thing about it, is I know I have the vibration dampening there, but having the main power leads on it does take away from some of the dampening, excuse me, it takes away from some of the dampening, but you know, hey, I'm just doing the best I can do here. All right, so just to double check the motor order, this is the front of the board, so this arm is going to be number 4. All right, this arm is going to be number 2. Marking it on a piece of paper. Number 2. All right, this one right here is going to be number 1. And yeah, I was right. And this is going to be number 3. So just to reiterate, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. And this is I'm gonna be running on Beta Flight. I know there's some talk about, some race flight. I haven't even looked at it. I am kind of intrigued and interested, but something about their motor order is different. Not 100% sure on that. Just in the videos that I've been watching. So now let's go ahead and get these motor wires. Obviously, we don't want to get these mixed up here, so that's another reason why I'm not going to do the power wires yet. So I want to make have a clear understanding of which signal wires are what, because that's the last thing I want to do is get it all together and then find out the motors are not in the right order, right? Alrighty, so just double check that everything is still in the shot. Yep, looking good still. I do apologize, this will be a little bit long video. I may try to speed up some sections, I don't know. I'm not very good at the video editing, but I guess we'll alright, so motor number 1 is over here, so this should be motor number 1. I'm going to do the receiver last. Actually, I take that back. I am going to do motor number 4 first, which will be this one, because I'm going to need to do the receiver last, and usually I should be able to leave it more open if I go backwards. So motor 4 first. All right. So we got our ground wire right here. There. Straighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just redo all of the wires. Sometimes I don't. You know, I'm kind of under a time constraint with work coming up, and I really need to have this done. So this wire needs to go up under. I'm trying to get a little helping hand on here to make sure. I do not want this to move on me while I'm trying to solder my wire there. I mean, I really I don't want to mess up anything. I want it to be successful on the first time. That's why I'm always double and triple checking things. This is motor 1, motor 4, motor 4, motor 4 is, I already had it all out, but let's double check one more time. Never too careful. Alright, there's motor 4. Alright. The one thing I hate about installing stuff is I get so into making sure that all of my connectors and everything is soldered in right, and then I end up burning myself. Alright, still not as stable as I would like. Alright, here we go. I don't like the way the end of that solder tip looks. Let's get that cleaned off a little bit. A little pre-solder. Still doing the right wire. You know, y'all look back at the video. How many times are you going to check that wire? Hold it in place for just a little bit, and then here's the next wire. They don't give you a lot to work with here as far as wire space. I mean, you can't necessarily have a long wire there in order to make sure it's got plenty of wire out for you, you know. So we got number 4 in there. Now we need number 3, which would be right back in the back here. So we're going to need to make sure we get that one out. You know, I keep reiterating it. You know, I know I'm in a time restraint too, but it is not worth not triple checking. you know. I know you've had to hear the term before, uh, check once, check twice, cut cut once. So that's usually the motto I try to go with, even with this hobby. These little wires are gonna aggravate me, ain't they? They're gonna be like, get out of the way. All right. So this one right here, just double checking back here, it is the right wire. 4 and then 3. All right, let's solder this booger down here. Fun in the morning, just early. All right, checking the tip, making sure all that looks good. And whoops, got some hang there. You know, I find that if you leave junk on your tip, you know, even if you have to clean it off every single solder, you leave junk on your tip, you end up having solder problems. Not necessarily heating up, but solder's dirty, or you get a splashback, or yep, I gotta pretend that just did not go well. Doesn't look like a good solder joint. There we go. That looks better. All right. Alrighty. Here's the signal wire. For number 3. All right, let's do motor number 2. Motor number 2 is the front right. The big problem area with the last one. Reason the signal wire looks a little different here is because that was one of the things I replaced, and the last flight controller was weird. I mean, I got it working multiple times and did multiple. I mean, it's one of them. I guess it's just one of them things, I guess. I mean, the flight controller didn't have very many flights there. I want to see maybe I can get a return on it. I don't know. I doubt it. Not getting a good not getting a good one on here because the board's moving on me. All right, there we go. All right, signal wire time. Signal wire. Let's see how this works. All right, motor number 1, which is back here in little holding area here. We're gonna kind of move this one through to the other side, just to make sure. Sometimes just reach in there with your little pliers and help you grab that wire. All right. Hopefully, I get all these wires down in there nice and pretty. All in order. Out of the way. All So you got a little bit on my end of my tip. Pre-tin again. Pre-tin, I mean, I cannot stress enough, pre-tinning everything makes such a difference. Your soldering iron, your wires, I mean, it just, I find out when I don't pre-tin, things are just a little bit harder. All right, so we got all the motor wires on there. One good thing I do want to do when putting any of the wires on there, you know, once again, check twice, cut once. Check for continuity between the motor wires and the signal wires, and make sure there's no continuity in between them. See, touched again, that's a good continuity. Another one that kind of really gets me is this back pin, the middle pin, and that pin. I do like to check that too, because I'm always afraid that wire coating there is gonna mess up and cause a short between that positive pin in the middle and the signal wire. But I've checked all of them. I'm gonna poke a hole through the signal wire. That one's one I was kind of worried about. I almost want to kind of lift that one up a little bit. All the other ones look pretty good, except for that one. It looks good, and I don't have any continuity there, so I'm good. The ground wires and the ground signal wires, they're all on the same circuit, so that's why I got a buzz there. See? I do this one. Yep, there. Ground is all on the same exact one. So we look good there. There's no continuity between pins, so that's good. So at this point in time, I think that we should be good. We just need to get up under here and make sure all of the signal wires and everything are all nice and stuffed back up in there. Before I am ready to put the flight controller down there, just like that. I am ready to put this flight controller and screw her down. Alright. There. I think I'm going to pretty much the only one I'm going to screw down is over here, just to kind of get some kind of stabilization while I do the rest of the wires. There we go. There, and then probably put this one down in order to get. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna screw this one down on this corner, and then I'll have to take that back off when I get the receiver. But we'll go ahead and do the power wires, and then we'll check continuity and just and double check that our motor order is correct, which I know it is, but we'll go ahead and check that beta flight. We'll have power down to it, and there. This one right here is straight towards our battery, which is straight on a XT60, and let's get where you can see it. XT60 and the PDB right there. We'll go ahead and I just really want it stable for these power wires, so I can push them down, get a nice good connection. I'll have to pull these back off when I solder these other wires in there, but all right, now for the fun part. So let's go ahead and turn this around. So I think that, no, this route is going to be better. So I can hold it with that and then get some heat down. Make sure you got it in. There we go. Alrighty. Here we go, main power wires. Make sure I don't. There we go, just pull that a little bit tighter. Push this down. Yeah, these are just a hair more difficult. Alright, come on. Some heat going here. Alright, done got all situated, and I forgot to clean off and pre-tin my soldering iron. Some nice good heat flow with this solder, because we are going to need it. Alright, here we go. Looks good. Alright, let's get this last one here. Make sure it's out of the way of the pin there. Nice good solder flow there. Alright. That is on. Alrighty, of course, we're going to check some continuity here just to double, like I said, triple, quadruple check. Of course, that's the main power wire, just to make sure that we don't got anything touching around it. That's where the power flows through there. Outside of the pin there. Alright, so the one major thing here is to double check continuity between the two XT60, the XT60 connector. Alright, no continuity. Alright, so now it's time just to double check the motor order. The only big problem here is I don't necessarily have to slide it all over, so I can get to my USB. Let's see here. Yep. Have to move over just a little bit here so we connect to USB. Thing is blinking. Still got it in shot. Let's back up here just a little bit so we can check our motors. This thing does not now the light's cut off. All right. Check our motor order. Of course, need a battery. Alrighty, so 1 in the back, correct. 2 in the front, it turns. 3 on the back, left. Signal works there. 4 on the front, right. Yep, we are good. We are good. Motor orders correct. So now it's time to get everything else soldered back in. All right. Get our camera lined back up here. So y'all can see everything nice and close. All right. All right, so now it's time to get the buzzer wire over there. Just to double check the description. Buzzer negative is on the outside. So we're going to do the positive first. We're going to need to move that out of the way. Get that off of there, out of the wall. Come on. That's, we don't want to melt that. All right. Clean your soldering iron off. Pre-10. Tweezers and positive wire down first. Should here, oops, on the inside, nice and out of the. It's never easy. It's always a balancing act in order to get around these capacitors and everything else on this board, or any board, that fact. just to make sure that I don't knock a capacitor off of a board. And who don't like a good buzzer to find a lost model, huh? Jeez. That didn't work. That didn't work because last time, because I didn't hold the wire down. Alright, so the buzzer is on. I'm gonna pull these wires. Got a little slack out of them there. My head's probably in the way. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now, matter of fact, we can change our the things that hold our flight controller in place. Loosen these up. And I will throw grommets in there. Worst things are going to be not going to go as Of course, it looks like gonna need to reheat that one power wire in order to move it over just a little bit because it's in the way of the bolt, which I knew that when I did it. I was hoping that it was over far enough, but it wasn't. So I'm gonna move that over just a little bit. Should be just simple resolder, reheat it just a little bit. Just snug it over just a hair. There we go. There we go. Might be over just a hair. I'll tell you now. I would actually like that pad right there to be just a hair bigger, but what can you do? Alright. There we go. Now we're clear. Alright. Alright, so we got them bolts in. Now we're going to get the this bolt right here out in order to get these other. I'm just going to leave this the bottom one in there. I think it'll be okay. Won't be keeping heat on very long. Yeah, I could have cut that down. Alright. The front makes it tight for the camera, you know. Alright. Here. Alright, double checking our order here. Outside is video out. So that is going to be the we're going to do the inside first because we want the cables to kind of be inside here, not on the outside. So I'm going to have to do the video. The video in, which is the inside. Go figure, they did something that made sense, you know? Video in. Alright, we're all situated here. Now we're going to get this wire right here on the video in. And then we're going to have our video out. I know it's not orange, but that's because I upgraded the wire on the VTX from a plastic wire. You know how we all like the plastic coating wires and not the silicone, right? That's a joke. Alrighty, then we're in. Alrighty, and now all we like is the receiver wire. We're running a Fly Sky. We got a receiver. We got the plastic wires. Yeah, well, you know, what can you do? Yeah. So we'll be upgrading to the Fly Sky here before too long. Kind of want to get that up under there just to kind of give it a little bit of protection here. Up under here to keep from oh, come on, give me a break. Give me a break. Alright, so once again, we are going to start with the outside. Outside wire for the ground. This one will actually need power. This is going to the receiver. So we don't want the ground and the I don't know if I like Let's move it over just a hair. Oh, now that just got it worse. That is the one thing bad about these silicone wires, because they melt easy. So you definitely don't want them touching something. That they don't need to be touching. So got them on. Now, of course, what do we normally do after we do some soldering wire before we hook anything up? We check some continuity. Beep beep. Ground. Positive. No beeps. No beeps. Alright, and then positive and signal wire. No beeps. Signal wires on the other side. No beeps. The positives can touch each other. Alright, what about these two signal wires? No continuity in between them. Nope. And yep. And of course we didn't check our buzzer wires. Let's do that real quick. No. I'm just shaky this morning. I guess I need something to... Alright. There we go. No continuity. Just testing something out. They said you could touch the ground wire and a USB and it would beep. Alright. Well, I think that part looks pretty good. Everything, there's no continuity between anything, so I think we've got it reinstalled. So I know this has been a long video. I just wanted to show the solder part. So that is upgrading your flight controller from F3 to F4. So thank you very much, and hope this video has been helpful, and have a great day.